So, I just got finished watching Stardom's Osaka Dream Cinderella show, and child, let me tell you, these girls are wildin' today, and I'm talking about one in particular, Mayu Watanabe, tripping today, tripping. Pour my glass of water, let's get into talk about this damn show. Come a lot. Alright, there we go. I gotta drink like a G though, hold on. That's how we drink water in 2021. Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy TylerMask, aka Tyler-kun Williams, aka Tyler Suplex, aka the one who lived. And guys, welcome back to the Tyler-kun Williams channel. And we are here for our first review of 2021, talking about a show that actually happened in 2020, like very late 2020, and that is Stardom's Osaka Dream Cinderella show. This show was main evented by Utami Hayashishita and Momo Watanabe, which is a match I've been really excited for the last few weeks. Been really talking about it. I had separate videos on my TylerMask channel discussing this with my good friend Dane, and the show finally came up. The only reason why I got to this show so late is because I've been trying to wait and watch it with him, because, you know, he watches Stardom, I watch Stardom, my friend Alejandro, he's been trying to get to Stardom too, so like, it's like the three of us trying to watch Stardom together, and, you know, everybody's working or busy, so, you know, we have to find time to actually sit down and watch it, especially when Stardom is like a 3-hour show, which isn't too often. It's only like their big, like, Cinderella shows that are 3 hours long, but, like, you know, everybody doesn't have 3 hours on a day, so, you know, I'm like, all right, well, we gotta figure out when we're gonna watch this, and yesterday we actually got a chance to watch it, so I figured I would come on here and tell you guys what I thought about this show, especially because a lot of you have been wanting me to talk about Stardom a lot more often. I said last year I was going to talk about Stardom more often, and then that didn't really happen, so I figured this year, it is January, we do want to get some more content out there regarding other things, so Stardom will be our first topic of discussion. So let me just start off by saying I did like the way this show felt, like just the aesthetic of it. Like they had the little title cards in the corner. I'm not a big fan of the big ass Stardom logo in the top left hand corner, but you know, it had the little title cards during the match to tell you guys who they are, what their weight, height, and it was almost like the way they were introduced men, but like for the women, it was pretty cool. And I don't know, I just felt like it stood out from other Stardom shows I've seen in the past, and I would not mind it if they went this style going forward. But I'll start off with our first match of the evening. We had Maika defending her future of Stardom Championship against Saya Iida and Saya Kamatani. This was a fairly good triple threat match. I don't want to say decent because I thought it was slightly above that, but you know, these three women went in there and they did their stuff. And now in the last Cinderella show, the Sunday Cinderella show, Maika and Saya Iida had a singles match, and I thought it was a good singles match that they had. You throw in Saya Kamatani, who I ranked as the most improved wrestler of the year, and she's just great at everything she does, and you would expect it to be like this awesome, tacular match, and I wouldn't really say it was that, but, you know, I enjoyed what I saw in here. There's this really dope spot from Saya Iida and Saya Kamatani where Saya Iida kind of has Saya on like the middle rope. She has her arm around her head and she's like standing on the middle rope, and then she does like this flipping cutter. You know, Charlotte Flair does her cutter. I forgot what she calls it, but she does that cutter, and Saya Kamatani does the biggest Kota Ibushi sell of this goddamn cutter I've ever seen. Lands on her head and everything, but sadly it doesn't get the pin, which is my nitpick with Stardom sometimes, is that though I love a lot of the matches that they have, sometimes I feel like they overdo it with the kickouts. Like, you'll have one sequence where it's like, that should be the end of the match, and then they kick out, and then, oh, this should be the end of the match, and then they kick. Like, there's so many times where it's like, the match could have ended here. Not that I'm like, oh, damn, I want this match to end. Like, bro, like, not like I want it to end, but like, there's spots where it's like, I feel like it should have ended, and then it just did it. And it's like, so, what exactly is going to be the finish? And then the finish comes and you're like, okay, that was good. It could have ended earlier, but that's how I feel about a lot of Stardom matches nowadays. This spot a little the same way, where Saya Iida hits this move and then she finished off the match with a brainbuster, which is fine, but I feel like this cutter could have ended the match. And the thing I also didn't like about this match was the finish. The finish was botched. I don't know if it was botched, but it was very clunky. So she hits the brainbuster, and Saya Iida goes for the pin. Now, it's odd because when she goes for the pin, she like kind of clutches Saya Kamatani's shoulder, And because she does that, her shoulder's not on the mat anymore. So now it's like, technically it's not a legal pin. But the referee counts it, and Saya wins the match, and she's the new future Stardom champion. And I remember watching it, and at first I didn't realize it until my friend Dane said like, hey, like what the hell happened? I'm like, what? And then I go back and I watch that, I'm like, that wasn't a legal pin. Like, and it wasn't like Saya Kamatani had her shoulder up. Saya was literally pulling Kamatani's shoulder up. Like, she was preventing the pin from happening. And the like, it was just a weird botched pin. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it went that way, but that was how it went. There's things to enjoy about the match. It wasn't the best on the show, but Saya is the new future Stardom champion. Happy for her, and I think she's very much been improving since the first time I seen her in 2019, and I can't wait to see what she'll do this year in 2021. Next match we had in here was the team of Riho and Ruka versus Natsuko, Tora, and Konami. This was by far the weakest match on the show, and I hate, trashing any of the women of Stardom because I think they're all talented in their own way. But, like, Ruka, definitely tell she's still a young lion in the making. Like, she's just not very good. Riho was there, and I love seeing Riho, and I've been hearing the rumors that she's apparently leaving Stardom, and I'm like, how is she leaving Stardom when she's not contractually obligated to work for Stardom? But either way, Riho, she was good in here. Konami and Riho was what I really was waiting for, and whenever they got in the ring, they had some really good work in here, really good chemistry, and I want to see a singles match sometime down the line. Now, sadly, Riho did lose the match. She didn't take the pin, though. It was Konami who ended up tapping out Ruka after Natsuko Tora smacked Ruka in the back while she was running the ropes. And Konami took her down for the Triangle Lancer and tapped her out. So Konami and Natsuko Tora went in this match. Like I said, weakest match on the show. Wouldn't say it was a bad match, but definitely something you could skip and you wouldn't miss a damn thing. Then we get into the next match. Donna Del Mondo's Natsupoi and Himeka going up against B. Priestley and Asukashima. This was like leagues ahead of the last match. And I'm not trying to make it seem like this is like the best tag match I've ever seen, but like, this was way better than I thought it was going to be. Now, not gonna lie to you guys, I knew nothing about Natsupoi before this match. I knew she got brought into Donna Del Mondo, and when you look at her as compared to the rest of Donna Del Mondo, it just looks kind of odd. It's like she's this really tiny woman, she's like she just has this aesthetic to her that just doesn't fit Donna Del Mondo at all. She looks like she doesn't belong in that group. And then you have Himeka, this really tall, like, brute woman, and you see the two together, and it's like, this, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll see what happens. B. Priestley's in here. She's good on a good day. Good on a good day, right? And they have Asukashima, who but this probably could have been worse, but I like this match overall. Himeka and Natsupoi impressed the hell out of me. I thought they had really good chemistry in here as a team. A lot of good tag action. Natsupoi was really always stood up on Himeka's shoulders a lot, and like, they used the big girl, little girl dynamic to their advantage. I felt like it worked a lot. There was one point where Himeka got B. Priestley and Asukashima on the top rope and got them both up for this double torture rack, which she didn't hold them up for very long, but it's still impressive to see Himeka like lift two women up like that, like really showing off her strength. Then Natsupoi is just like, I don't want to say she's flying around the ring, but she's really fast. Like, she's definitely, I would say, that high-speed wrestler for Donna Del Mondo, and I could very much see her having a great match with Ozimi or Starlight Kid somewhere down the line. Himeka ended up finishing off Asukashima with a running, falling powerbomb for the pin. So Himeka and Natsupoi get in the match, which should be of no surprise to any of you because it's Donna Del Mondo, and Donna Del Mondo literally loses no matches whatsoever. We then get into the next match, Ozimi versus May. How do you say her name? Hoshizuki. Hoshizuki? I don't know. I really hope I'm not botching this name too much. We're going to call her May. So yeah, Ozimi versus May. Bro, when I tell you this match fucked so hard, oh my god, this match was... It wasn't a great match, but it was fun, it was fast, it was high speed. Like, there was a lot to enjoy about this. Ozimi and May, they showed a lot of personality, and I always gave Sonata and Zack Sabre Jr. like a bad rep for repeating their roll-up sequences. Like, every match you see them in, they're always doing that whole thing where Sonata goes for roll-up and then Zack Sabre Jr. counters and then Sonata counters. then ZSJ counters and Sonata counters, and it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, wait, 1, 2, wait, over here, 1, 2, wait, Sonata, 1, 2. They do it like all the time, and it's just like, it's lifeless and boring. But like Ozimi and May, they did something similar in here where they were counting each other's pins, but because they're smaller and nimble, they were able to counter the maneuvers a lot quicker, and it made for a very, like, you know, high octane feel to the counters, especially in moments where they would get out of it and they would try for like a different version of the pin. Like they wouldn't just keep on flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping. Ozimi would get out of it, go for a crucifix, then May would get out of it, go for like this like rolling clutch, and then they would go for inside cradle, then they would go for a backslide. Like they were innovating different ways to try and pin their opponent, and that was like a good solid 1.5 2 minutes, and it was really exciting the entire time. I thought I would have got bored by the last time. It did make me check a little bit because they were going longer than I thought they should have, but it was not at all like overdone. I thought it was really enjoyable and really fun. In that pinning sequence, Ozimi did end up sneaking in a 3 count and getting the win, retaining the high speed championship. I thought this was a fun match. I'd recommend it. I'd recommend this match. I thought it was fun. It was short. You'll get some enjoyment out of it. Now this next match right here, got a lot to talk about this match. This match is making me mad. I'm actually kind of mad I didn't record my reaction while I was watching it, because like this match legitimately was making me angry when I was watching it. Lord, what the fuck? So we didn't get into the next match. Stars was basically all but separating up until this point. You had the team of Tam Nakano, Unagi Sayaka, and Mina Shirakawa versus Mayu Watani, Starlight Kid, and Gokujin Death. So this was a 3-on-3 elimination tag, which I didn't find this out until like a little bit into the match. But when this match first started off, you could easily tell that Stars were healing it up. Like this was the first time I've ever seen anybody from Stars healing it up. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that Mayu, SLK, and Gokujin Death wasn't really doing anything remotely heelless in my opinion. It was all Mayu and Starlight Kid, which really took me by surprise because they're like the most happy-go-lucky of the faction. Like without tagging each other in, they would get into the match and they would start stomping, you know, the opponents, or they would, at one point, and I was dying, bro, they were literally two-sweeting each other as tags. I shit you not. There was one point in here where these 3 women were fucking two-sweeting each other to tag themselves in. And I'm like, these... Let me not say that word. These girls are Bullet Club affiliated. Holy shit. I never thought I'd see the day. Now, the match didn't last too long as it was an elimination match. So Gokujin Death, she ends up eliminating Unagi with a roll-up pin. And shortly afterwards, you get SLK and Tam in the ring, and they're battling it out. And then SLK hits a tiger suplex onto Tam and eliminates her. And I'm like, are they about to clean sweep the Cosmic Angels? Because it's just Mina left. Like, it's Mina, and then there's Starlight Kid, Mayu, and Goku. Like, it's a 3-on-1 situation elimination match. I don't know if Mina's going to do this whole thing by herself. If anybody was going to do the whole, like, you know, Iron Woman thing, I thought it would have been Tam, because she's the leader. But no, Tam was eliminated, Unagi's eliminated, it's just now Mina. So I'm like, alright, what's going to happen here? So I forgot that this also, when it comes to elimination matches, they do over the top rope elimination. So there's one point where you have Starlight Kid and Mayu on the top rope, kind of like Mayu's trying to help, Starlight's trying to help Mayu get to the top rope. And Mina comes out of nowhere and drop kicks Mayu, and Mayu's kind of holding onto the top rope, and then Mina drop kicks her off, and then she eliminates Mayu. So like now Mayu's gone, the former champion's gone. I'm like, oh shit, that's good. That's, you know, she could lose this match and she could say she eliminated Mayu. That's good nonetheless. So then she's going again, and then she winds up eliminating Starlight Kid, and I'm like, okay, like Starlight Kid and Mayu, like they try to get Mina over, like let's go. So now it's just down to Mina and Gokujin Death, and they had about a minute and a half long excursion before Mina put her down with a back suplex face buster and got the pin. And I'm like, Mina literally was the one who clean sweeped all of Stars. Like, that's impressive. So if they were trying to get people behind Mina, this did the trick, because I've only seen her in like 2 matches before this, and right off the bat, I think she's really good. So Mina gets the victory for the Cosmic Angels, and all is well right now. So there's this really dope shot that I always appreciate when Japanese wrestling does this well, with cinematic type shit. So there's this shot where you have Tam standing next to her faction, and she's posing, and then you could see in the background there's Mayu with her back turned. You could tell by the way she's expressing, like, she's very mad. And when she turns around, and it's weird because throughout this entire match, Mayu is just mean mugging the fuck out of Tam. Like, I must have missed something, but like Mayu just does not like her. Like, it is so apparent that she does not like Tam right now. So Mayu grabs the mic, and her demeanor is just very negative. Like, this is probably the most negative I've ever seen Mayu, like, in my entire time ever watching Stardom. If Mayu was ever a heel, I've never seen her work, but like, I could read facial expression and body language. She was not feeling her at all. Now, mind you, I guess it should be apparent that this came after Tam announced that she is splitting away from Stars, and she's going to be creating her own faction of the Cosmic Angels with, obviously, Unagi and Mina. So, I guess, in that sense, Mayu has reason to be mad. But Mayu gets on the mic, and she puts out a challenge to Tam in Edion Arena, whenever that's going to be. And she says, I'm going to end this and crush you completely as my enemy. And I'm like, what? Why are you mad, bro? Like, she big mad right now. Like, Mayu was petty. Like, she's petty as hell for this, bro. And then SOK hops on the mic. I'm thinking SOK about to be the mediator. Like, all right, let's calm down. Like, it doesn't have to be. But no, this girl hops on the mic and she gonna say thank you for everything up until now. I'll be taking that belt soon. I'm like, what is going on with all this hostility? What is this? Why are they acting like heels? I don't understand. What is going on? I was not mentally prepared for Mayu and Starlight Kid to be acting like this, bro. Like, this was legitimately making me mad. Cause it's like, why are y'all being so petty? She didn't cheat you guys. She didn't rob you guys. She didn't cuss y'all out. She ain't embarrass you. All she did was say, I'm splitting apart. Now, I can understand if you feel a bit hurt. I can understand if you feel a little bit betrayed, but they were acting out like Tam personally wronged them in some way. Like, Tam, like, fucking went to their house and slept with their brother and then ate the food out of their fridge and then left. Like, that's how they were treating the Cosmic Angels. It was, you could cut the tension with a switchblade. That's how much tension was going on in this match. But I guess the stage is set for another rematch down the line. This is probably the most interesting storyline going on in Stardom right now. So I got my eye on this because I wasn't prepared for what was going to come with Stars could possibly be a heel faction going forward, which I don't know how I feel about that, but this is something that I think we all got to talk about a little bit later on and see how it goes. We then get into the co-main event, Julia versus Siori for both the Wonder of Stardom Championship and the SWA World Championship. You have Siori as the SWA champion. You have Julia as the Wonder of Stardom champion. They went up against each other in this match. Okay, so this match is rated like fairly high on Kate's match as an 8.50, very high praise. I'll be the first to say I didn't like this match. I thought it dragged a lot. Like, you could tell very apparently by that 15-20 minute mark that they were trying to go for that 30-minute mark. Like, the first half was fine, you know, they're feeling each other out, catch moves, all that kind of stuff, and it's progressing. But then at some point, you sit here and you're like, this match's been going on for quite some time now. And it's a double title match. They're probably going in for a time limit draw. And then time keeps on. Like, the pins are going a little bit more frequently, but it doesn't ever feel like the match is going to end. Like, you never get the sense that somebody is going to lose. Like, you always had this sense after the 20-minute mark that nobody's losing this match. It's going to be a time limit draw. And I felt like that alone, because the anticipation really kind of differed with that feeling, and I can't really explain why the match felt that way, but it just did, and I felt like that really affected it in a negative way. And by the time I got to the end, I was just kind of over the match. They hit each other with elbows and they both collapsed and the bell rang and it's like, time to draw, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't see that coming, right? Because of course Donna Del Mondo can't lose. That's obviously the trend here in Stardom. They can't lose. So both women retain. They're hugging each other. They're like, oh my god, I can't believe he actually made it. I'm like, alright, we're on to the next match. And I don't hate Donna Del Mondo. I think they're actually a pretty good faction. I really like Micah. She's really grown on me since I started watching Stardom. Siori's great. I enjoy watching Julia. Natsuko impressed me tonight. And Himeka, she's fine. I enjoy the faction individually. I just think that they're a little overutilized, and I feel like they are protected a little too much. Like, they can lose every once in a blue moon, and I swear to God, nobody will think less of them. I feel like management needs to hear this. Like, nobody will think less of them if they lose one match. Just putting it out there. Then we get to the main event of the evening: Utami Hayashishita versus Momo Watanabe for the World of Stardom Championship. Two friends, two faction mates going at it in the main event of one of the biggest shows of the year for the grand prize. Couldn't ask for more, and I thought this was a great match. Easily another banger for Stardom to end out the year. Had I seen this match before I actually closed out my list, it probably would have made that probably like somewhere in the 30s. I would say it was definitely like that good, like maybe like 30, maybe 30 being nice, 40 if you want to just put it in there just to say it's in there. Great action, lots of back and forth, a lot of near falls, a lot of false finishes that you would expect from a main event, and it was just all anticipation, all the great build up. I think anybody can sit down, watch this match, and get some enjoyment out of it. And you didn't really know where it was going to go either. Like, yes, Utami just became the champion like a little under a month ago. But at the same time, you have Momo, who has been having this almost like subtle downward spiral since the years really began, where it's like her faction mates are getting more opportunities than her, and she's just kind of fizzled out into the background, and there's nothing for her to do. And now she's finally in this top spot for this one time against her faction mate who got the title before her. Maybe it's going to be the situation where Momo beats Utami and then Utami wins it back. Like, could happen. Not opposed to it. Wouldn't be mad if it happens, but it could. Or Utami retains and, you know, they keep Utami strong, which I'm not mad at that either, but it begs question about what they're doing with Momo because she keeps on losing. And sadly, we got the latter half because Momo did end up getting put down by Utami with her Razor's Edge, and she got the pin to retain the World of Stardom Championship. Like I said, I would say a great match, but don't know what's going on with Momo. I've been hearing some rumors about Stardom not wanting to push her for certain reasons regarding body imagery and all that kind of stuff, which is, I hope it's wrong and it's disgusting. I hope those are false, but I wouldn't be too surprised if that's the case too. But I think that's a discussion for another time. After the match, Micah comes out and she challenges Utami for the title, and Utami accepts, so that's definitely set for a future date, which I feel like they're probably going to have a killer match, so I can't wait for that either. And that was Stardom Osaka Dream Cinderella. I thought overall this was a really good show. I would probably give it a I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10. I think there's definitely a lot to sink your teeth into. There were two things that didn't do it for me, but that's out of like a 6 or 7 match card, so nothing to hate about it. I would say maybe not top of your watch list, but you know, throw it on there, especially May versus Ozimi in the main event. I would say go your ways to watch those, and maybe the tag match between Donna Del Mondo and Oedo tag. That was really good as well. And that was my review. What did you guys think? Comment down below. Let your boy know. I will be live for Wrestle Kingdom in just 2 days, so make sure to tune back to this channel at 3 a.m. Eastern time on the 4th and the 5th. I love you guys as always, and I will see you all later. Peace out, guys. Whoa.